Hello genies. So today I would like to talk about security, more specifically security in your WordPress site. So I personally have had experience of this in the past, being hacked. It's not pleasant. I don't know if you've been through it when you've had that horrible message from somebody to tell you something's going on with your website and it's showing something that you would really rather it wasn't showing. Maybe some nasty stuff, or it's forwarding people to another website, or it's just all gone horribly wrong. It's really not pleasant. Your heart sinks. And as I run so many websites, I have had the horrible experience before where all at once they've all been hacked because they're all linked together. Unfortunately, with WordPress being an open source system, it's always going to be vulnerable to hackers. It's just the way of the internet. It's the way things are. It's virtually impossible to be 100% secure against them, but there are measures you can take. There are things you can do so that your site is pretty tight and pretty secure against hackers, and I'm going to share the benefit of my experience with you to tell you how to do that and how to secure your site. So the biggest lesson I learned is that with WordPress you really need to keep everything up to date. That's first and foremost, that's the most important thing. Because if you don't keep your WordPress up to date and your plugins and your themes, then your site is vulnerable to hackers. And once they get in, it's very, very hard to clean everything up. Not impossible, I've done it, I've been through the process, but as the wonderful support people at my hosting company said to me at the time, prevention is so much easier than cure. So don't wait until you get hacked to do this. Make it a part of your routine to go into your site every couple of days, into your WordPress admin, and update everything. It really only takes a few minutes, as you'll see now. And if you do that, then you know you're so much more secure. The second step is to install a security plugin. I use iThemes Security, which is the one that was recommended to me by my hosting support guys. And it's really nice knowing I have that extra level of protection. It's free. Everything I'm going to show you today is free. It won't cost you anything. But if you are running a WordPress site, then I highly recommend you take a little look and check out this tutorial. As you can see, I have logged into WordPress here. And we are in the dashboard. What you're looking for is here in the dashboard, under where it says home on the top left, you will see updates, and it will tell you in that little orange circle how many updates are needed on your site. So you can see we have 2 updates needed here. I would suggest logging into your dashboard every couple of days to check this. If there's none, that's grand. So we'll click on this. And this here will tell us everything that needs to be updated on our site. So first of all, it will tell us if our WordPress version needs to be updated or whether we have the latest version. It will also tell us which plugins need to be updated and have new versions out that we need to update, and which themes need to be updated. All of these things are really important, as I already explained, because if you don't do them, it leaves your site vulnerable to hackers, and you do not want that. Not good. So we can see at the top here, it tells us you have the latest version of WordPress. That's because all of the websites that I manage, I have set to update WordPress automatically. So that's fine. And then here we can see plugins, and it will give us a list of plugins. If you haven't updated your site for a while, you may have quite a long list of plugins here that need to be updated. Here you can see we only have 1 plugin that needs to be updated because I do this quite regularly. Really important, before going any further, I would suggest that you do a quick backup of your site using a backup plugin. If you don't know how to do this, then check out the other tutorials on the Genie Academy, and you will find instructions on how to do that. So once your site is backed up, just in case anything goes wrong during one of your updates, which isn't likely, but you know you don't want that to happen, it's best to have a backup that you can revert to. Yep, let's start by updating this plugin. So you could go through them one at a time if you have a list, or you can click the select all and it will just do it for you. So I'm going to click the update plugins button. The reason why there are so many new versions of plugins is basically because the people who make them, WordPress is open source, meaning that anyone can make plugins to extend it. And the people who make the amazing plugins that we get to use, they often find a security breach where hackers have used their plugin somehow to get into people's websites and do nasty things and take over and inject some code and put stuff in there that you really don't want to see and so forth. And when they find out about this happening on their plugin, they will patch it and they'll take measures to stop those hackers from being able to do that with all the sites that are running that plugin. So they will patch it and then they will release a new version. So it's best to keep it up to date so that you know you have the version which is secure against any known breaches. That's basically why we need to do this. So there we can see that plugin has been updated. We have one update left to do, so we will click on the Return to WordPress Updates page, and we will look down and we'll see it's a theme. Now with themes, you may have several themes installed, old themes you've used in the past. If you don't want them anymore, you could go to your themes page and just get rid of them. If you want to keep them in case you want to use them again or for whatever reason, that's fine. But make sure you keep all your themes up to date, even the ones that you aren't using. So even if you're not using them, they still could make your site vulnerable to hackers because the code is still there. It's still there in the website and hackers can use it as a way in. So if you have a list of themes here that need updating, click select all and simply click update themes and let WordPress do its thing. And once that's done, it's not taking long here because I only had one plugin and I only have one theme that needs to be updated. And once this is finished, I know that my site is up to date and secure as it can be against hackers. So that's brilliant. And the other thing that you will want to do is to install a security plugin, which I will show you in a moment. The one that I use is called iThemes Security. Literally it's free, go and install iThemes Security plugin and it will just add that extra layer of protection to your site. So then my theme's all updated. So I already have iThemes Security installed. So you can see over here on the left I have this little security badge. So I could click on security check and I know that this security plugin is doing work for me because I often get emails saying that users have been locked out of my sites that have been trying to log in. So they just have little bots that try and constantly log in so they can do nasty things in the background. So this recognises those people. Often there are IP addresses that are known and your site will get checked against those IP addresses and block them out. So I'm going to click on the secure site button here and just refresh that security check. But it's constantly, so all of those things have been done. Banned users is enabled, database backups is enabled, all the recommended measures for security on my site. So I know that this plugin is working for me even while I'm not on the website. And you can see all these different options here which you can have a look at and check, but I just leave it at the basic options, the default options that it uses when you install. And I know that iThemes Security is there in the background working for me. If you don't know how to install a plugin, then you will find a tutorial on how to do that on Genie Academy in the same section, in the WordPress basics section. So yeah, get your site updated, keep it updated, because trust me, if you get hacked, you will wish you had. I have been there and I don't want you to have to go through that. So go get your site updated and keep it updated. It's easy as pie.